This is AC Starlord, or aka Austin, and welcome to my channel. I have headphones in, at least because I'm walking my dog in the woods. But the reason why I'm doing this video in the woods is because we're talking about Friday the 13th. I did say in the intro, it said New Blood, but I meant to say New Beginnings, and that's my bad. But we're going to be talking about Friday the 13th, New Beginnings. Now, New Beginnings takes place after the final chapter. Now, if you've seen final chapter or you watch my video on final chapter on here, that's also great. Awesome, you did your homework. But also, if you have seen it, then what I'm going to tell you is pretty much like kind of a repeat where Tommy flashes back to when the moment where he kills Jason. Over and over again, his sister telling him, Tommy, stop. But they show us that in the very beginning. But what they don't show is what he looks like. So he looks like a young man, a young adult in his early 20s. So to me, he's either 19 or 20 years old, and he's back of a car. He's back of a car. They're taking him to this place to help him with his PTSD and mental issues, and that's where we see that's where we see him. But all I have to say from this point on, from then to now, is that kind of when they go back to the final chapter when they did the clip show. I said in my intro to this, it kind of reminded me of Halloween Ends, where they go through all three other movies that they made so far. This one just repeats the end of final chapter, and that's all you need. But also that kind of reminds me of Halloween, because Halloween 1, 2, not 3, 4, and 5 repeat. Well, not repeat, but they have the setting on the same day. You know, on the same Halloween night. From 1 to 4 and 5. 4 and 5 do the same thing. Like, they continue the story on the same Halloween night. They never stop. They didn't do what they did in Ends, where it's few years down the road. But besides the point, that's what kind of reminded me of the very beginning of this movie, where Tommy's just remembering the end of the final chapter of Friday the 13th. And then we see him in that car. He wakes up from this dream. He goes back to sleep, if I'm not mistaken. And then he gets into his loony bin. They like to call it the loony bin, but it's a place to help him out. He meets the doctor. He meets the other psychologist telling him about this place, and again, his room all settled and ready to go. So he pulls out his mask that he made when he was a child. Those are cool masks, but he's just a quiet individual because of the PTSD what happened with Jason. So what he did. So from there, you meet the other people from that place. You meet like a blonde goth emo girl, which is with the early 90s goth emo girl look is kind of cool, I have to say. I mean, if people can pull it off today, that would be awesome, but they haven't. They are not that. She, like I said, she has black highlights in the tip of her hair. And then You meet some big kid that likes chocolate. That's some mental issues. I don't know what his mental issues are. You meet a guy that has an axe. You meet another I think a pretty decent girl, but I think she might have some problems. You meet a guy that stutters a lot. You meet a black kid named his nickname is Reckless. I don't forget his actual name. I think either it's something, but his nickname is Reckless. And then you meet two other people that like to go off and have you know what, and some other lady's farm, and that you meet that lady and her son. The son likes to, they're crazy little country hicks. They like to his son likes to repeat her and says, oh, like, if I catch one of your loony bin people on my property, I'm gonna kill them, blah blah blah. And then there's that introduction where Tommy gets there. Tommy just is quiet and trying to get to know these people. So how it ends up with the title sequence, the big kid that likes chocolate tries to talk to the girls that are doing the emo girl, the 90s emo girl, and then some other girl that's there to help him with laundry. Like, I'm really good with laundry and all stuff, but he's not, because he's eating chocolate. And then goes to the guy that's chopping up axe. Chocolate likes to chop wood with his axe. He's bothering him so much that he's like, oh, here's some chocolate, blah blah blah. If you want chocolate, I mean, I can help you out. I never chopped wood before. I want to learn how to chop wood. And but if you, he's like, leave me alone. So if you get hungry, I'll leave this chocolate here. He chops up the chocolate with his axe, which is weird, but it's kind of amazing. Like, that would be kind of cool if they actually showed the frame of that. They didn't. They showed a little bit of him chopping the wood with the chocolate, but I know it's kind of weird for me. I'd rather see the chocolate get chopped than the wood. It's kind of cool to see a big giant blade chopping up some candy. But then he got so aggravated with him, he kills him. He kills him up and he chops him up like he's a piece of wood, and he chops him in the back. So the paramedics get there. One of the paramedics sees this kid, and it's a mystery to you who it is. I mean, not a mystery to us. We know who the kid is, but it's a mystery to this paramedic, to us, who this kid. I mean, if this kid is a relative or not, until, you know, you find out a little bit later, and I'll explain that. So from there, that's where the title sequence happens, and then everything's okay. You know, everything's okay there. Tom is learning to adapt to that place and learning how to do all that stuff. The country, you zoom into the country hick woman that's like has a guy volunteering for them. Sob story with that. Talking about how her son likes her stew or whatever, blah blah blah. And then you start seeing a random person start killing off these people one by one. Of course, like every formula of every Black Friday movie ever made. But again, you see it off screen. You see some guy that got off his shift. He gets killed. Wants to party with his girlfriend. And his girlfriend gets killed. You see the main counselor that Tommy met get killed. Reckless's brothers got killed. Yeah, Reckless had a brother, and then you meet him a little bit, and his girlfriend. They both get killed. And the reason why Reckless is there, he tells Tommy that, oh, I'm just there because my grandfather works here. His grandfather gets killed. So it's only left with Reckless. So basically, he killed. And the kids that like to have sex and all that stuff, they get killed also. So basically, everyone's killed off. The killer puts everyone in Tommy's room because Reckless sees it. And then it's raining and storming like some apparent reason, every Friday the 13th is either dark. I mean, it's dark and rainy, or it's like they get wet instantly. The characters always get wet. It's always raining for some apparent reason. So I never got that. But anyways, Reckless sees all the people that got killed. It's only the counselor, the female counselor, and female doctor, counselor, therapist, and Tommy and Reckless. You know, Reckless and that Reckless and the female gets chased by this copycat Jason. Of course, after you see some killings off screen, which all of them are great, you finally see this copycat killer, and it's just a Jason mask that's blue right here and blue right here, blue right there, like the mask you saw in my intro, without the blood, of course, on it dripping down from it. So they go into this barn. This copycat kills the counselor and Reckless to the barn, and then you see Tommy. Tommy freaks out seeing this copycat Jason, and then he thinks he can stop him. He gets stabbed in the chest, and basically they also, Reckless and this counselor helps out Tommy, and then they have a final battle with this copycat Jason, and the cop, and then he falls over into this like farming device that, like, I guess does something, but it has spikes in it, and I guess it peels off food or does something, but it spikes, and he basically he grabs Reckless's leg and he's trying to pull him down, and the counselor's trying to pick him up, and Tommy picks up the knife, picks up the machete, chops off his hand. He falls down. So the fake copycat Jason is one of those paramedics that knew the kid. The kid was his son, because the police officer looked into his file, and that's the police officer's son. I mean, that was not the police officer's son. I mean, the paramedic's son. The police officer said, "Oh yeah, that was his son. That's the reason why he was doing that." And then they send Tommy to the hospital because he has a cut in his chest. And then the police officer talks to Reckless and the counselor, like, they make sure they're okay. The counselor walks over to Tommy's room, and then this is a dream sequence from Tommy. Walks over to the room, and then she checks up on Tommy, and then Tommy stabs her with a machete and starts laughing. Well, that was just a dream sequence, or a dream sequence, or a dream thing from what Tommy was dreaming about. And Tommy woke up from it and it's like, this is not real and all that stuff. So the same thing happens again, but in real life. The counselor walks to Tommy's room. Before she can walk to Tommy's room, Tommy realizes that he has his clothes and the copycat Jason's mask. The copycat Jason's mask is just in a drawer he puts. Before she comes in, checks up on Tommy, she sees the window broken because she has broken glass. She opens the door, she sees Tommy on the bed, and then she yells. She calls out for Tommy. She's like, calls out to Tommy, like, where's Tommy? Tommy's behind her with the mask, with the fake Jason mask, with the blue striped, the blue triangle Jason mask with the blade behind, like a knife behind her, and that's the end of the movie. So does that mean Tommy is the new Jason? Because again, that's something they did from a copycat. Speaking of copycatting or copying from Halloween does that in Halloween 5, where Jamie picks up and Jamie gets the sword. Kills Michael, and Michael transcends the evil to Jamie, like he transported the evil from Corey and Ends. But you get my point. Jamie did the same, got the same evil from Michael, and she hold the knife up with a clown costume from a clown costume that she was wearing for Halloween, and also kind of looked like Michael Myers' first costume. So you get my point there. Tommy puts on this copycat killer's Jason mask, and he's holding a knife behind that counselor that's supposed to help him out. And that kind of reminded me of Halloween 5, at the end of Halloween 5, where Jamie was doing the same thing. So Tommy and Jamie have the same kind of, I guess, evil thoughts? Or is that just what they want us to think when we watch these movies? Because Jamie, of course, Jamie wasn't in the sixth Halloween movie. Also, I don't know. I'm probably not going to watch Friday the 13th New Blood until next Halloween. So we'll find out about that next year when I make a video on it. So if you like this, put a like on this video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and please, this Halloween or this rest of this week, do not let Jason catch up to you, or even Michael Myers, or even Chucky, or Ghostface, or whatever is your favorite horror icon. So yeah, and the next video on this, the next video I'm going to do is about Child's Play 3. So continue with that, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Don't forget to put a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'll see you guys next time. Deuces.